I told you last night what I say. Whatever it takes, that's this fight in this locker room. That's the fight in this locker room. Like, did we do a lot of wrong today? Hell yeah. But fought for 60 minutes. We needed all 60 of those minutes. I'm so proud of this team, guys. We're not perfect, all right? We're not perfect. It's tough. It's going to be hard. But this team fights, and that's number 9, okay? So now you got 9, okay? You got 3 more opportunities in our kick. 3 more opportunities in our kick, but you got 1 today, okay? Talk about that defense. 3 takeaways, fellas. Fight, right? Fight. Talked about a guy last night. That guy showed up today. 10 catches, 104 yards, and a touchdown. One of the best teammates that I know who fights for his team, number 85.
Hey, man, I love all y'all boys, man. It's going to take all of us. It's going to be a long journey. We got this. We got the right men in this room. Let's get after it, right? 1 play at a time, 1 day at a time. Let's keep going.
That's this game. It's going to be hard sometimes. You have to fight with each other, but I saw a bunch of guys out there that are like, I will not be denied for my brother, for the guy next to me. I appreciate that. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, John Nye, and Josh All.
What's up, Browns fans? Welcome to another Victory Monday. Feels great to be back in the studio for our 9th Victory Monday of the season. If I would have told you 11 weeks ago that we were going to have 9 Victory Mondays and then in 26% of our team was on injured reserve, or 26% of our salary cap was on injured reserve, nobody would have believed me.
Nope.
Some people wouldn't have believed me that we were 9-5 if we were 100% healthy. Adam Rank, Nick Wright, Cucks.
Keep it going.
I'm starting off. I'm coming in hot today. No, 9-5 for the Browns with another cardiac kid type performance. We needed all 60 minutes, like Kevin Stefanski said. We needed Justin Charles and 70,000 of his closest friends.
You're damn right, brother.
That stadium, there's a reason why we don't lose at home this year. The atmosphere up at Cleveland Browns Stadium is just, it's crazy. I've been up there for 1 game this year. Justin's up there all the time. He comes home sick and depleted and like coming home from battle, but it was worth it. So just another great game by the Browns. We're going to get into all the details. We got a ton of voicemails to get to. We're going to get to all of it. But while we're letting this thing fill up, remember, if you want to get your intros on the show or your voicemails on the show, head to thedogspodcast.com, tap leave voicemail on the drop-down menu. You can find us on not Spotify. Well, you can find us on Spotify.
Absolutely.
But we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. If you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Tap the notification bell so you never miss any of the new episodes or any of the times we're going live. If you prefer to just listen to the podcast, Spotify is an option. Apple, Google, you can find us pretty much anywhere. If you prefer to just listen, you don't want to look at us ugly people. I'm just speaking for myself, guys. And lastly, if you're looking for more content, head to jointhedogs.com, become an official Dog Pack member. On the Patreon page, you get access to the private Discord, which is really the highlight, especially on game days. You get to talk to everybody throughout the game, through the highs and the lows. It's like watching it at a Browns backers bar from the comfort of your home. So you get access to that. You get an extra episode every week. It's an episode, especially during the season, that you get to take part of. We do them live in the Discord. You get your thoughts on the show. You get to talk to everybody. It's just a good time. You get to play fantasy football with us. There's a lot of perks come in there. Dog Pack Member of the Month. We give away merch. So head to jointhedogs.com if you're interested in that. And lastly, we hardly ever talk about this because I always forget about it, but you can become a member on YouTube for 99 cents a month. You see people using these Browns emojis. I know you made some for the Discord. Do they work in YouTube also?
Yes.
So we made, Josh made new emojis. We got Joe Flacco. We got the Chief. So there's a lot of cool emojis you can use. You can fill up the chat during these lives. And just, it's $99. It's less than $12 a year, and it helps out the show a ton. So if you want to help out the show in a cheap, cool way, 99 cents a month gets you a YouTube member. You get to use these emojis. I always forget to talk about it, but I saw all these emojis lighting up the chat, so I figured I'd plug it.
And if you do the next level, which I think is like $5 a month on YouTube, you will also get access to the after hours episodes on YouTube as well.
Yep. So that's another perk. And lastly, again, another thing while we're letting this fill up, we heard Kevin Stefanski, whatever it effing takes. We have the whatever it effing takes t-shirt. Josh is wearing his tonight. If you can see it, if you're watching on YouTube, it's I designed this. Well, I came up with the idea. Josh designed it. It's a total team effort, but yes. I think they're pretty cool t-shirts, and it just kind of, like, this team, it doesn't matter. They just do whatever it effing takes.
Oh, this is the 2023 shirt.
Yes.
I mean, this is it.
So if you're interested in that, you can find the store on our website, thedogspodcast.com, and they're pretty cool shirts. So if you like that, check out those shirts. Somebody from the Discord messaged us that they were at the gym and saw a Dogs Podcast t-shirt some girl was wearing. I was like, nice, get the hell out of here. I was like,
quit lying, bro.
Yeah, no way. So apparently some people are out there wearing our t-shirts, and we appreciate that. I want to just jump in talking about this game. Man, I think we should start with David Njoku. This is a guy who a couple years ago, he comes in as a rookie, first round pick, and suffers drops early in his career.
Yep.
And then I feel like that stigma has kind of followed him, even though I think last year we debunked like that he has dropped since the rookie year. Drops haven't been a huge issue for him. There was like a 2 to 3 game stretch this year where he was struggling with the drops a little bit.
But everybody was.
But again, you're playing with 4 different quarterbacks. There's an adjustment there. But man, just a guy who has become one of the unquestioned leaders of this football team. And he not only vocally, but he goes out and does it on the field. And I'm a huge David Njoku fan. He's one of my favorite Browns players. So to see it, like him really put it all together, it's awesome to watch. We kind of predicted a breakout year for him because we thought he was going to have great chemistry with Deshaun. I didn't know he was going to be on his way to hopefully putting up close to 1,000 with Joe Flacco, DTR, PJ Walker, a little bit of Deshaun sprinkled in. I didn't know this was going to be how he did it, but man, we would not be 9-5 without David Njoku.
No, I absolutely agree, because I posted the question in the chat before we were getting started. I said, has David Njoku established himself as the top go-to option in the Browns offense, or do you think that's still Amari Cooper? Either way you look at it, this guy is legit. He is elite. He has fully broken out. He's a dominator.
I don't think he has taken over Amari Cooper as like the biggest threat, but I think he's definitely made himself the safety blanket for a guy Joe Flacco. You know what I mean?
Not only the safety blanket, but he's still a big play machine.
Yes. The first guy never brings him down, ever.
That's what we talked about in the Discord earlier. I said he's always at least one yak. No matter what, if he gets hit, he's at least getting 1 yard after the contact, if not more. But he always goes forward. He's so strong and powerful.
Aaron Butler, did I not decimate you enough the last time we went live? We literally just beat you 2 weeks ago. Get the fuck out of here. No, David Njoku. And I think it's awesome. I actually heard a thing from Pete Schrager on NFL Network today. The night before the game at the team hotel, Stefanski brought up Njoku and basically like used him as the example of what a Cleveland Brown should be. Right. Nice. You know what I mean? Like talked about how great of a teammate he was. How if you want to like playing like he embodies being a Cleveland Brown, and then he goes out and has arguably his best game of his career.
This is a guy who requested a trade a few years back, didn't want to be here anymore, and we got him behind closed doors, had a conversation with him, Kevin in the front office, and he decided that I embrace my role here, and look what he's turned into.
And it's not just the receiving threat. He's a great run blocker
exactly.
now. Like he's a total tight end, and he has 100% moved himself into like that top tier tight end rankings.
Yes.
You know, like Kelsey is still like your number one.
Yes.
You know, him and Kittle.
He is a future Hall of Famer.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
But I put him up there, right? Like he's in that tier. He's different. Kelsey's different than all of them. He's essentially a receiver playing tight end. Great. But David Njoku is 100% in that George Kittle freak athlete, and he's healthy more often. I'm not saying he's better than George Kittle, but you can talk about David Njoku in the same conversation when you talk about George Kittle, in my opinion. Now, I want to see him stack years like this together to put himself like above a George Kittle. George Kittle's been doing it for a while now at a very high level. But you can 100% talk about them in the same sentence without it being blasphemy.
We always thought he had the potential. We were talking about the same thing right before you got here, man, on Discord. We always thought he had the potential to be that guy, or at least a top 10 kind of guy, but he just never really saw those opportunities, right? He, like you said, he is establishing himself as one of the elite tight end weapons in the NFL week in and week out now. Has just been dominant. And some of the plays that he made yesterday, the touchdown grab,
man,
absolutely crazy. And then, like you guys say, you let him get out in space, very, very hard to bring down. And he is just basically a rolling ball. He just is taking guys with him.
I feel like he's deceivingly fast.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been saying that.
I don't know what his 40 time is. I don't remember, but it seems, I think I talked about this maybe last week or the week before, or we didn't do one last week, but when he gets the ball, it doesn't look like he's trying that hard to run fast, but it's like he's a giant, like he's gracefully
Do you remember how Terrell Pryor looked when he ran?
Yes.
Like he's barely moving, but at the same time he's covering so much ground.
And he's
it's
pulling
like,
away
what?
from everybody.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's working super hard, but he's just pulling away from people, running through every single tackle. Like, well, I mean, he's a freak athlete.
Yes.
So I'm so happy for David Njoku and what he's been able to do this season and the way he's embraced his role as a leader for the Browns.
The touchdown catch I said yesterday, was a man catch.
Yes.
He caught the back end of the football, first of all. Like, he didn't catch the full ball. Like, he caught it at the very back end, and the ball never moved out of his hands. Like, he didn't bobble it, nothing. It never shifted. And he went to the ground the whole way. The ball never came to his body. The whole way to the ground with 3 hands on the ball, 2 of his and 1 of the defenders. And he never lost the ball.
He, by the way, just not only was the catch impressive, but that throw is why Joe Flacco was brought in and why he was named the starting quarterback. DTR and PJ Walker don't make that throw. No. David Njoku was blanketed, but the defender did not have his eyes on the quarterback. Flacco saw the back of his head and said, "I can throw it up here because this guy's not going to know the ball's coming." PJ Walker, DTR aren't making that throw. Mm-mm. They're not making that throw, and they're not making it accurately. That's why you brought Joe Flacco in. Joe Flacco, I think we should touch on it. Man, it was looking rough for a while. Okay, and here's the deal. I don't even 100% blame him because our line was Swiss cheese. I don't know if you guys realize this, but once Bitonio went out, 7 of our guys playing were not day one starters. We were playing with 7 backups. The right tackle, center, left guard, left tackle, running back, all backups. Quarterback is the backup. And then Tillman wasn't a day one starter.
Right, yep. And then by the end of the game, we were down to our 3rd center.
Yes. Which is just unbelievable. And then the offense somehow got better.
Yeah.
But I'm usually not very calm, but I'm pretty calm, cool, and collected throughout the game
yesterday.
in terms of. But yesterday, I wasn't even upset. I'm just watching Hudson and the left tackle Christian. I'm watching them basically essentially be Swiss cheese.
Yeah, it was
making
bad.
Montez Sweat look like Myles Garrett, and he's very good. Don't get me wrong, but we were making him look like Reggie White or something. And
boy, Mark Sanchez was having a field day on that.
Mark Sanchez, I call him a cuck on Twitter.
But go ahead, the tackles.
And I'm watching them, and then we can't run the ball for crap after. I mean, Bitonio wasn't in much, but once he went out, the run game not there.
It was barely there to begin with, and then it just.
And I'm watching this, and I'm going, well, I'm more sad than anything, but I'm thinking to myself, the injuries might have finally caught up. Like I don't see how we score points if this is the line play we're going to get. And not only was I thinking that about yesterday, I started thinking about going forward, how do we score enough points to win any game if this is the line play we're going to get? And all of a sudden, we turned into the greatest show on turf in the 4th quarter. I don't know where it came from. So I'll be the first to admit there was 2 to 3 times in that game where I 100% thought, well, this one's over. And I wasn't even mad. I was just more like sad that it had finally caught up to us that we couldn't overcome this much. Mm-hmm. And then they proved me wrong. I'll never do it again. I guarantee
one of them was after the muff punt when it was like, because that was like in the third quarter when we had barely any yards at all, single digit yards the entire quarter. And we're sitting there talking, on Discord, like, we can't move the ball. I don't know how we score. They muff the punt. It's like, oh my gosh, they gifted us the ball like right at the goal line.
At least we
can finally get some points on the board. And then the very next play, we throw the pick. Yeah. And it was like, well, that's it. Yep. Yeah, I think that's it for today.
And it was a crazy good interception, and it would have been a touchdown
for sure.
But it was a play action, and we was like, man, if he throws it sooner, but he has to do the fake and then get his head. He just didn't have time.
I don't know if he saw the defender.
I feel like if it wasn't a play action and it's just a straight 3-step drop, I feel like it doesn't get picked. I feel like it's a touchdown. But the guy made a crazy play. His other 2 picks kind of on receivers, not running right routes, stuff like that. But
I would say that we talked about this earlier. The second pick, the one that was the pick 6. I don't know if you blame anybody. I think you just say, Tillman ran a route, Flacco hit him in the hands, but as soon as the ball touched his hands, he got smacked by the defender, ball popped out. I said, nobody's catching that ball.
Oh, dude, 99 times out of 100, that ball hits it's a big hit and the ball goes to the ground.
Defense made a hell of a play. Yep. What are you going to do? They're a good defense.
Popped up to him and they return. Like, that's just the kind of luck the offense has had this year.
Yeah. We spotted them 14 of their 17 points.
The Ravens humiliated Browns in their house by 25 points. Your mere 2-point win was nothing. Meant nothing. Apparently,
quit looking at Aaron.
He
Butler.
must be on the college football playoff committee. The wins on the field, what happens on the field doesn't mean anything.
And I think he's forgetting that we had to play DTR on 2 minutes notice. So
yeah, we beat the backup quarterback.
We'll be okay.
Well, I've already said my piece with you 2 weeks ago. Go watch it if you forgot. Because we all know all you do is spend your free time watching Browns things. You're a closet fan. John, what are your reactions to the game? You've been sitting here for 10 minutes and you said not one single word.
I'm sorry, man. Just, whatever you guys said. Kevin's a good coach. Can we start there?
Yes, we can.
We need to start there and finish there for sure.
He should 100% be coach of the year.
He is, in my opinion, Kevin's coach of the year. He's done some really amazing things with, you just don't see it. But a team that goes through half of what we've gone through folds. And we're 9-5, man. It's crazy.
The fact that he has galvanized the locker room as much as he has and has brought, like, he brings a guy up like Njoku, gives a speech about him, props him up, and then he goes out the next day. Like, that's coaching. You know what I mean? And this Texans game might be like it's a playoff position spot potentially, and also like could be battle for coach of the year, because I think like it might be down between him and D'Amico Ryans. I know Dan Campbell's name is being thrown around out there also, and I think Dan Campbell's a good coach, but he's literally had a healthy roster on a team that everybody picked to win the division at the beginning of the year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who couldn't coach that? The hard part for Dan Campbell was 2 years ago. He built this thing up, and now he's, I'm not saying he's not coaching well, but he's had it relatively easy this year compared to us. So, and I'm a big Dan Campbell fan. I thought it was funny when he proved people like Joy Taylor wrong.
You say relatively easy. I say anybody who's still got their starting quarterback, you got it good.
Yeah, no kidding.
We've been through 4.
It's wild.
Coach of the year could come down to our matchup next week.
Yes.
So
yeah, we'll do a preview later this week about the Texans. But
did I not just say that?
What?
That coach of the year could come down to our matchup next week?
Yes.
Well, he's only got one ear.
Yeah, he's deaf in one ear, bro. Will you leave the guy alone? Jesus, man.
I thought maybe there was an echo or something.
I had it, lined up, and then I guess I just zoned in on what I was going to say and wasn't paying attention.
Oh, you were locked in, brother. You stand on that point.
Another guy, while we're calling people out, I want to talk about, what about D'Anthony Bell?
Yes, sir.
First start of the season. I was looking, essentially tied for second in the team in tackles. I think 3 guys had 6 and 3 guys had 5, and he was one of the guys with 5.
Him and Hickman.
4 solo tackles, 1 pass defense, the interception at the end. His tackle for a loss late in that game on second down was huge. That was a great open field tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, the dude's running for 10, 15 yards.
I don't think you could have asked for a better performance out of either of the safeties. No. Hickman or Bell yesterday, both of those guys played their asses off.
Yes, they did.
If you would have told me, hey, this is what we're rolling into and this is the kind of performance you're going to get, I'm not surprised, though. We've been following this kid for 2 years. And we knew that, you know, he could lay the wood a little bit, but we weren't 100% sure. Delpit is a huge role to fill. That dude, I mean, honestly, if he doesn't get hurt, he still might make the Pro Bowl. Honestly.
Yeah, it's Pro Bowl ceiling.
I think he still could make the Pro Bowl. I couldn't have asked for more out of those two guys yesterday. The entire defense, honestly. If it's not for the defense yesterday, this game isn't close at all. The defense just every series came out and played their asses off.
Yes, the 5 highest graded defensive players for the Browns: Myles Garrett at a 92.3, Dalvin Tomlinson had a great game at 91.6, undrafted free agent signing Ronnie Hickman at a 90.6, undrafted free agent signing D'Anthony Bell 78.8, and D tackle Shelby Harris, who I thought played a great game.
Yes, he did.
77.2. Like, so the people who crap on Barry
don't know what they're talking about.
Look at the production he's getting from the absolute bottom of his roster. The depth on the roster is you can't question it. People are like, we need some depth at the O-line. We're
at the bottom of it.
We're at the bottom of it. How much depth do you expect
We've
a team to
gone through it.
have on one? The fact that we actually have players to keep putting in. Like when I had forgotten about Whippler. When Nick Harris went down, I was like, is Harrison Bryant going to have to go in to play center? I was like, who is going to come in? If one other lineman got hurt,
yeah, we'd be.
I don't know.
There was a point where we had Dunn, Hudson, Jerron, Wyatt Teller, and Luke Whippler in there.
Yep.
And then that's when shit took off. Like you said, like I remember looking at my mom and going, oh, well, there goes Nick Harris. Like, this is our third string center now.
Undrafted, right? Or was he seventh round?
Seventh round. But my goodness. Gutsy performance from the team.
Well, and Joe Flacco, and that, like you said, that's when things took off. He had 212 yards in the fourth quarter. It's the most by any quarterback in a single quarter in the entire NFL this season.
That's super
insane.
impressive. Yeah. Super impressive. I was telling Josh earlier, so the stadium, everybody kind of just, I wasn't like the fans were checked out, but the stadium just wasn't normal until Amari Cooper runs that 51-yard touchdown. Literally for a half hour, nobody sat down.
Well, I thought you said wasn't it the Goodwin 50?
Goodwin kind of like got people going because then there was a little bit of belief like, hey, we can get the ball
That was
moving.
a sweet play, by the way.
Yes. Because up to that point, we couldn't do anything offensively. There was no run game. The pass game really wasn't there. There was tons of pressure on Flacco, and I'm just like, well, maybe this is it's not our day today. You know what I mean? That place was fucking electric. Nobody sat down for, I kid you not, 45 minutes. It was rowdy as hell. Dog pound. There was 40 dudes in the dog pound, just no shirt on. It was freezing cold.
Yeah.
The place was nuts. And Newsom was in the dog pound hyping the friggin' fans up, just rallying. It's insane.
The defense plays with so much swag. I saw somebody on Twitter, so we were losing like down 10 or something, and Newsom made a great play, and he was dancing, and somebody said, maybe this is just like the boomer reaction to me, but dancing when you're up 10 just seems stupid to me. And I was like, guys, the defense is the only reason.
Yeah.
We have 14 points off turnovers, and that's it. They've held them to 3 points in this ball game. And what makes our defense special is that edge.
Yeah.
They play with an edge. They play with swag. They play with an attitude. You can't take that away just because we're down 10 in the fourth. How many times have we come back this year?
Yep.
So no, that's what makes us special. They say they're the best in the world, and then they talk it, and then they go out and they do it, and they prove it. So no, you can't take that away from them. Like that's what they do.
At home.
Yes.
Primarily. Now, as long as we can carry that into Houston next week, that'd be great because we do need a very solid road performance from our defense to beat Houston. Before we do anything else, I just want to say it's really nice to have all 4 of us in studio tonight.
Well, hello, all 4 of us. How are we doing today?
I like this.
Yes.
It's been a while since we've all been here, so it's good stuff.
Yeah, for the holiday.
This episode is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Browns fans, you've heard me talking about Omaha Steaks for like 3 years now. And seriously, the only reason that I keep doing it is because I love Omaha Steaks. That's the reason I reached out to Omaha Steaks to establish a partnership in the first place. This food is absolutely extraordinary. It comes at a really really great price. I mean, think about the price you're paying for meats and all kinds of foods right now. The price you pay for the quality you get at Omaha Steaks cannot be matched, beat, anything, anywhere. And this holiday season, Omaha Steaks is the absolute perfect gift to get all the loved ones in your life. For me, it just makes Christmas shopping and getting people gifts that much easier. What do you get for people that, one, you don't really know what they want, you don't really know what they need, and they pretty much have everything they need anyway? People can always use meat. They can always use food. Get them Omaha Steaks gift packs. They throw it in the freezer, and it's the gift that just keeps on giving. Go to omahasteaks.com and save 50% off site-wide. Plus, when you use our promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out, you get an additional $30 off your order. Send the loved ones in your life the tender, juicy butcher's cut filet mignons, the mouth-watering burgers, the gourmet jumbo franks, or even those easy-to-prepare meals that are ready in a flash. So get this offer now while it lasts this holiday season. Omaha Steaks is ready to ship your order right away. So visit omahasteaks.com. Take advantage of 50% off site-wide, plus use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out to get that extra $30 off your order. Happy holidays, everybody, and Merry Christmas. Minimum order may be required. This episode is sponsored by Factor. Browns fans, get started on your New Year's resolutions with Factor, America's ready-to-eat meal delivery service that takes all the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success here in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, all the prep work, and the cooking fatigue. Instead, you can get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie, and more, plus they have over 55 weekly add-ons, you guys have a ton of nutritious and flavor-filled options to kickstart your resolutions. I've personally tried Factor's meals. They are incredible. I got a whole bunch of different varieties of things just to see what I liked, what I didn't, and I'm not exaggerating one bit. I liked them all. You throw it in the microwave, 2 minutes, and bam, you have a nutritious meal ready to go on the fly. And the nice thing is, when things get hectic, Factor is totally flexible. You can change your order up every week with plans from 4 to 18 meals per week. You can even pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime you want. So here we go, guys. Let's stress less over our meal times in the new year. Let's get Factor's no prep, no mess meals, no shopping, no cooking, no cleanup. Head to factormeals.com/thedogs50. That's all one word, thedogs50. Use code thedogs50 to get 50% off your order. That's code thedogs50 at factormeals.com/thedogs50 to get 50% off. Happy New Year, everyone. You want to do a voicemail?
Oh, I forgot about those. Yes.
Yeah, we do have a few of those. We'll kick it off with Kenny Mack today.
Yo, Dog Pack, it is Kenny Mack, and what a day to be a Browns fan. This team, man, they really make me want to buy two things from my next Browns raffle, the pens and pacemakers. This is the Cardiac Kids 2.0. This team's unreal. I mean, the D is so good that our offense, they can let the other team have 10 to 14 points, still win the freaking game. Man, the plays of the game for me, the turning point was Cam Mitchell's shoestring tackle on Justin Fields. The undrafted Bell and Hickman, they were good. This was the biggest worry for me. Man, combined, those guys had 10 tackles, the game-sealing interception, and 2 passes defensed. And then Flacco's 2 TDs, they were unreal. Njoku, that catch and that fall down inbounds, awesome. And then that pass to Cooper, that was the smallest window. Man, this team is a team of destiny. And now this team's a passing team. So stop talking about the run game, because this backup offensive line, they can't do it, man. But you know what they do? Whatever it takes.
My favorite part of that voicemail is he said doo-doo.
I know.
I knew you were going to say that.
So, team of destiny. That's every time my dad texts me about the Browns, I just say team of destiny.
Yep.
My dad's obviously old enough he watched the Cardiac Kids. That was like when he was watching the Browns at my age. So like watching this again, he's like, this is like watching the Cardiac Kids play football. He's like, it's crazy the comebacks in with this team. My dad is extremely pessimistic about the Browns, like some old Browns fans are, okay? And like Josh used to be 10 weeks ago. So
only during the game.
and they have him tuning in. Like my dad is listening on the radio when he can't watch. There were times in the last couple of years where my dad might not even have watched a game for like a month in a row. And now he's back. And I gave him crap for that kind of stuff, but he'd been doing this for 50 years and not getting much out of it, since the late 80s. So, he's back in, and it's just the city. I feel like the city is rallying around the team. They just love the fight. It's a very Cleveland team.
Yes.
Just fighting for every scrap, never giving up. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this is what we've been screaming all season to people who listen to the podcast. It's professional football. When you're playing against professionals and you're coaching against professionals, and these guys are in the top 1% of what they do in the world, it's never going to be perfect.
Agreed.
A win is a win. I had a guy at work telling me he had people complaining to him about, well, we only won because he didn't catch that pass at the end. All I heard was that we won.
Yes. That's literally the same thing. Oh, man, well, if Mooney doesn't drop that ball, I don't give a shit about that. How many times in our lives has that play gone against us?
Yes.
That would be a play in the past that he makes that catch and we walk out of the stadium fucking pissed off.
Yes.
So to me, I don't care that he dropped the ball. You know what? Maybe for the first time, hey, maybe God doesn't hate Cleveland as much as we thought. Maybe things are going on our way. That's all I'm saying. I don't care about that. We won 9-5. Let's go.
Yeah, like you could do that. Well, we only wouldn't have won, or we only won because Amari Cooper caught a touchdown. Like that's how stupid.
That's how it works.
Catching the ball, making plays, that's part of winning. And
we held them to 3 points. Their offense generated 3 points yesterday. That's it. We gifted them 14. We gifted them what was the absolute most bizarre series of plays I've ever seen at the 1 yard line for them to score the first touchdown. And then we threw the pick six. That was it.
Yep.
The Bears, by the way, which we know they have before yesterday, they had won 3 of 4, and their only loss was a tight one to the Lions.
And I don't know if people realize this if they listen to, because I did a quick preview episode real late Saturday night, so not a lot of people probably got to hear it, but the Bears had the number 2 ranked rush defense in the league coming into that game. They're good.
Yes. I knew the weather, I was worried about the weather. I think Kenny made a great point. The Cleveland Browns, for the rest of this season, they are not a running football team.
People need to get that through their head. We will not be a running football team. It's going to be very limited. It's going to be so pass heavy. Against the Texans, if Stroud plays, I already said before, expect 50+ passes.
Just keep the defense honest.
Yes.
That's all we're trying to do.
We're not going to abandon it completely, but it is not going to be a run-focused offense.
There are times, there was a play yesterday, and I don't want to crap on the guy, but we're playing with a backup line, okay? Backups everywhere, and I understand that he's a backup, but we were expecting him to, be a big role player this year. But Jerome Ford just misses so many holes. There was a play where he ran it for a 1 yard gain, and if he just makes a cut, there was a semi-truck sized hole right up the middle. He might have ran for 50 yards, not been down in flag football, and instead it was a 1 yard gain. And I was just like, we can't run the ball.
No,
it's almost not even an option at this point. It's getting to the point where if you call a run play on first down, it's going to be 2nd and 8+.
Yep.
If you're lucky. Yeah. 2nd and 8.
2nd and 8 would be great.
Yes. Kareem Hunt is the battering ram for short yardage situations, and that's essentially it.
If he comes in between the 20s, we're screwed. He's not getting more than a yard.
No,
carry.
I love Kareem Hunt, and I love what he's brought to the team this year, but there were so many times in that game yesterday where you just watched him, you're like, this guy is slow as crap for an NFL running back anymore.
We have all backups on the offensive line. Defenses know that, there's no threat from the quarterback to run. So let's just take away the run game. And that's what they're doing. Our run game isn't good to begin with. And then when the defense just takes it out completely, there's nothing we can do. We have to throw.
What criteria are you guys using? I am not bashing our coach. I just want him to be successful ever. When you have an opportunity after an INT in your first play call in the red zone is a pass. Well, you have 2 options, run or pass. And what has been more successful in that day?
for the last couple weeks.
Yes. Yeah. So what you would have rather him ran it on first down for 1 to 0 yards and then had to throw it on second down? Like what? Where I don't understand the reasoning.
The throwing it on first down is I would feel like it's a higher percentage.
And a lot of teams take the big shot
Yes.
after that. You have the defense in sudden change.
Yes.
They weren't ready to be on the field. You go and you take your shot. You had the momentum.
When you throw the ball on first down, it's because the defense is looking at you going, well, it's a legit 50-50. They can run, they can throw. Whenever you're in second and long, like we just talked about, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, defense is like, they're going to have to pass here. So now they can key in on that. But on first down, they're still a little like, I don't know what exactly they're coming out with. And then they do the play action.
Yes.
Quit it, guys. It was just stop.
First down is the easiest play to pass on.
Yes.
You always hear, like, when there's a struggling quarterback, you hear people say they need to get him some early down throws so the defense has to defend for both.
Yep.
They need to get him some easy completions on first and second down, get him in a rhythm. Nobody says, if you really want to make it easy on the quarterback, let's let him throw on 3rd and long.
Right. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, that's never been said ever.
Well, and here's the thing is we can run the ball 2-3 times every drive, but we would have lost that game 17-0. We would have never
scored.
Especially even like the passing game wasn't efficient. There was never any run game yesterday.
No.
How many rush yards did we have yesterday? Do we know off the top of our head?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I saw it. It wasn't a lot.
We had
40, 39.
I'm looking. It was bad. I know.
1.7.
18 carries for 29 yards.
Oh, okay. My fault. That gave him way more than.
Yes. Jerome Ford had 8 carries for 20 yards. Kareem Hunt had 7 for 8. Pierre Strong had 2 for 2. And Flacco was credited with 1 rush for -1 yards.
Nice. Okay.
It was bad.
It was bad. We still ran the ball 18 times despite being down, double digits heading into the fourth quarter. So, and we threw the ball 29 times. How many plays did we run? So if you look a little deeper into this stuff, you say run the ball more and stuff like that. We didn't have the ball that much. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because we couldn't do anything. So we had the ball for 67 plays. We had the ball less than they did. Time of possession wise, we had less plays, but more time of possession by 2 minutes, 31-29. Even. I've never seen that before in my life. They had it for 29 even. We had it for 31 even.
That's crazy.
Penalties. They had 4 for 19. We had 9 for 48. I do want to talk about this real quick. It is like Miles complained about the officiating, and instead of the officials being like, okay, we need to keep a close eye on this, they just got together and said, fuck that guy.
Oh, and by the way, the boss is in the building.
Yes. If you're Roger
we
Goodell,
hell, don't worry.
There's no way if you're Roger Goodell, you watched that and thought, this is good.
This is good for the game.
Yeah.
And Jerome Ford makes his like one nice run of the day, gets us down to the 4, and they call the most ticky-tack bullshit hold on Dunn that I've ever seen. I didn't even see a hold. He had his arm out, never grasped, never hooked, nothing. And they call a hold. And I am watching Miles get tackled, horse collar blocked. They had not one holding penalty.
Nope, not one.
We have a team with Myles Garrett, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Zadarius Smith, and they didn't hold one time?
I think
Get the fuck out of here.
Wasn't there one holding on Tomlinson whenever he came through and the guy had him like all the way across the chest and he did like I forget. I think there was one.
Well, that's good. At least we got one.
Oh, okay. So maybe I got worked up for nothing.
Yeah,
no, you can get worked up over the Miles stuff because it's ridiculous. Like he gets it every play. He's getting, like you said, choke held, horse collar, just pulled around everything, and they don't call it. And I think it's ridiculous that he calls out the referees publicly last week, knowing damn well I'm getting fined for this.
Sure.
Yes.
And he says it anyway. He gets fined $25,000. Imagine getting fined $25,000 just for saying something.
He doesn't care.
Holy shit! And then they come right back the very next game, and that's what they do. No, call him out again.
He's got money to burn.
You got the money. Screw it. Call him out again.
If I was him, I'd have went to the bank before the game, took out 25 G's in cash,
and just held it up while I said it
and burn it.
I would have taken out 50 and just started talking again.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's a problem.
It's terrible. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, and it wouldn't be as bad again if we wouldn't turn around and get called for the most ticky-tack shit ever. Some of the holds that we get called for, I watch the replay and I'm like, I don't even know what they're talking about in terms of like what was the hold. And we have Myles Garrett on our team and he can't draw a holding penalty. It's wild to me. We got more voicemails.
We do. I was going to say there's a little bit of a dead zone there.
I was letting John chip in, but
hey, this one's from Mr. Mick.
Cardiac Kids 2.0. It's me, Mr. Mick from San Diego. Even in the last 5 seconds, the Cleveland Browns and the godforsaken NFL gods, demons, whatever you call it, have to have me sitting on the edge of my seat, even on the Hail Mary, Darnell Mooney in his hands, and man, oh man, didn't catch it. Thank God. A win's a win. I'll take it. 11 starters on the IR, 20 plus on the injured list. We had a lot of turnovers, like I heard on the podcast earlier. As soon as we hit that magic 2 mark and we started going over it, I'm like, well, looks like it's going to be an L. And then whatever it takes, Kevin Stefanski, whatever it takes, the players stepped up. Our defense held strong. Our defense played so well today. I wish we could have had 1 or 2 of those interceptions. Newsome, Mitchell, we had opportunities, but man, we pulled it through, rack and stack. Let's go, boys. Go Browns.
Yeah, because on that preview, I did say, let's not talk about limiting or like eliminating turnovers. Let's just say, can we just keep it to 2? Expect 2, and they're probably going to be in a bad spot on the field. Well,
I wish they wouldn't have went for 6. A couple things that Ronald Harper ads on YouTube are getting ridiculous. I feel you, man. I've been getting pissed sitting here. I got the live pulled up and it keeps going to ads and I'm like, well, there's, 2 cents in my pocket, but why are we getting so many? So I feel you. It's not us, it's YouTube. Then he said another one, what about Tillman being shoved out of bounds?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Right in front of her.
Yeah. She didn't, not a thing.
Right in front. She's literally standing right beside him. Mm-hmm. He might have bumped her on his way out of bounds and she just was, you're allowed to do that apparently. Just shove people out of bounds.
The officiating, we've been bitching about it all season. We've been bitching about it for years and it's getting worse. It's getting worse.
And to people who and again, we're winning games and I don't like to, I don't like to blame officials for losses and we won, so it doesn't matter. But if you want to know why Browns fans hate it so much, we're the reason you can't buy glass bottles in stadiums.
True.
Go back and watch Bottlegate.
It's a real
Just
thing.
get on YouTube and look it up and realize that has been happening to us since. And it hasn't stopped. Mm-hmm. And it's frustrating. We could have been in an AFC championship game a couple years ago if they call a penalty that would 1,000,000% have been called against us. You'll never convince me otherwise.
In the era of player safety, they are like, oh yeah, that helmet to helmet contact, that missile tackle to the head, totally cool.
So, but no, Team of Destiny. We touched on Kevin Stefanski a little bit. There's nothing else. I've been online to see if I haven't even seen much hate this week.
They're running out of
little bit of stadium.
They're running out of ammo. The thing that again we're still getting in the chat too is like, oh, should have run the ball more. For what? A 1 yard gain, a 1 yard loss. What do you want? We can't run the ball.
And guys, it's just about wins and losses, and he's getting wins. He's the second coach now, only the second coach in Browns, modern day history or something, or last 20 years, whatever it is, to have 2 winning seasons.
It's farther than that because it was Marty.
Yeah.
So it's back to the 80s.
So, and Marty Schottenheimer's a pretty good coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Kevin Stefanski's going to be here for a long time, guys. He's, knock on wood, he's a very freaking good football coach.
I keep telling the Stefanski haters and the Watson haters, you guys are going to hate the next several years because this is what we got.
But it's good. I didn't see, I got on to see if he was catching any flack, and they're, like you said, they're running out of things to criticize him for. You can't, at this point, any argument you make, just, we all know who you are. You're a Baker fan.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say, well, he abandoned the run. I'm like, he had to. and we won.
You would yell it if he kept running the ball into a brick wall.
Yeah.
You would say he doesn't know how to make adjustments.
He did run the ball into the brick wall against the Steelers, and people bitched about that.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. He doesn't adjust in game. Once he gets off script, he can't call a game. But we come out and he changes off of what he does. He abandoned the run. Like, just go watch Tampa
That's
Bay
an
play.
adjustment.
Leave us alone.
Abandoning the run's an adjustment. Like, hey, we can't do this. We're going to do something different.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do Tyler.
Hey, Browns podcast. It's Tyler yet again, coming to you from downtown Cleveland, from the Browns Stadium. We just squeaked another win. Screw the haters. Don't worry about the mistakes. We won. That's all that matters. We're going to work it out, and we're going to come up with another victory. Don't worry about any of that old stuff. We're going to make it work. Let's go.
Copy that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Absolutely.
Somebody in here, Flacco TD pass to Cooper. So Jake Burns, he's been on the show before, posted some of the all 22 on Twitter. I didn't notice it on the TV view from the side view live, especially because then I was losing my mind. But from the behind the offense view, that's one of the best throws in the NFL this year. They literally called the perfect defense for our play. They should have had the play stopped, and Joe Flacco puts it on a freaking rope.
Yeah.
In the
Between
only
three guys.
spot it could be.
Yep.
And it ends up in a huge touchdown for that's one of the best Browns throws I've seen a quarterback make in my life. That includes any of them that I've ever watched. And I don't know. I never would have imagined in a million years that I would love Joe Flacco.
I know.
not just love Joe Flacco, the player, because let's be honest, in 3 games with the Browns, he's 2-1 great. He's thrown for a lot of yards. He's turned the ball over a ton. Okay. If this was like, if we weren't winning the games, people would be shitting.
Oh, yes, they would be.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? But I love what he's doing for the Browns because he's been put in a tough spot. He's come in, he's delivered for us where we need him to. But it's the guy, Joe Flacco, that I didn't know how
to be
much
fair,
I would
we,
like him.
We didn't care about Joe Flacco, the guy before he was a Brown. That's just kind of how it works.
Yes, and I hated him because he was on the Ravens.
Right, exactly.
But man, just the way he's come in, he just seems like appreciative of the opportunity. He almost seems like an extension of Kevin Stefanski on the field.
They have a mind meld.
You know
Yes.
what I mean? And it's just, I feel like he's done a good job of just coming in and kind of like fit right into the locker room. And he kind of fits in with the city in terms of like just his attitude and his work ethic and his
Blue collar. Yep.
Yes. Like, man, talk about like a godsend. The fact that he's just still sitting out there.
Yeah.
And I had a hot take. So like, we play the Jets in a couple weeks. This is a little off topic, but I had this hot take talking about Joe Flacco and still being available. They just benched Zach Wilson again.
Well,
He had a concussion.
he actually went out with a concussion. I thought he got benched too.
Okay. I was going to say, like, there's no way they can ask this guy to come in again. And if you want, this is my hot take. If Zach Wilson was on the Browns, he would be serviceable. I'm not saying he would be good. I'm not saying he would be the starter. I'm saying he would look like a football player. He would look like a guy who could come out and play sometimes and be a backup in this league.
Jets have rotated multiple quarterbacks now this year behind that offensive line. They've all looked awful.
And behind
we've rotated
and Hackett.
and we've rotated 4 quarterbacks behind our offensive line, which is pretty much all backups now. And they all look either decent to really good. So I agree with you on that.
Like I just think the fact that he pulled a 38-year-old Joe Flacco off the couch, a guy who everybody said was washed. There's a reason he's available. The Jets didn't want him. Nobody wanted him. All this stuff. And he has him throwing for 200 yards in 1 quarter. It's the most amount of yards anybody's thrown for in a quarter in 45 years for the Browns.
That's what people said about Jacoby Brissett, man. Like they said that about Jacoby Brissett. Oh, he's like an okay backup quarterback. When he was the starter with the Colts, And then what did he do? He came in and shined for basically 11 games.
Yes, this he's given all these people their career years.
Yes.
Now, this isn't Joe Flacco's career year, obviously. He has a Super Bowl. But it's
in this era of his career, yes.
And Baker's having a better year this year, obviously. Mm-hmm. But it helps where he gets to play sub-500 teams all freaking year. Go check his stats against any team he's played this year above 500. It's all losses and all of his stats are pedestrian to terrible.
Yeah, it's not the AFC North down there.
No. So I saw a comment here that said on the Ultimate Cleveland show, everybody was talking about Baker's season. It's like, guys, if Baker was in Cleveland this year, he would be having a 2021 season. With behind this line,
Yep. Oh, it'd be bad.
it would be bad. It would be bad. Like, let's not get it twisted. He's down there with Mike Evans and
Chris Godwin, Rashad White.
and he's playing in a division where he plays bottom feeders throughout his schedule.
And he's still one game below 500.
Yes, they don't even have. If the Browns were in the NFC South, we'd have clinched 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, we'd easily. Yep, we're already a playoff team.
And he's fighting for a playoff spot with the Falcons.
Who just lost to the Panthers.
Yes. And he's in. So yes, let's just stop. Baker would be on IR. Yes, 100%. So we got to get that twist. Get it out of our brains. Do we have a? But that was my hot take. That Kevin Stefanski could make just about any quarterback look serviceable.
I think it's decent. Yeah, we do. We have one voicemail left. This one's from Brad Moneymaker.
Oh, yes.
What's up, Browns fans? This is Brad Moneymaker. Did I have 45 heart attacks? What? Did Blake and Josh almost want to give up on the team? What? Is this team ridiculous with the amount of injuries? What? Do we still find a way to win at the end? What? Is Joe Flacco still have ice in his veins? Yup. What? D-Hop, the most legit kicker in the NFL? What? Boys, we got 9 wins. 9 freaking wins. 3 games left. We're 7-1 at home. Yo, these injuries are crazy. Hopefully, AB addresses some of the O-line injury problems, and we keep doing this a game at a time, boys. That's all we can do. Let's get this thing. Woof woof.
So injury update, I did see Kevin Stefanski said today that there were no significant injuries sustained after yesterday's game. Everybody who went out or was injured during the game is considered day-to-day. So that's good news for the O-line with Batonio.
Thank
hopefully.
God,
now,
yeah.
his was like a back tightness, like his back tightened up. I don't know if it was a back spasm or
He came in with.
He tried to
tweaked
come
it
out
in practice and then tried to play.
They said he came out,
retweaked it.
and worked out after halftime, and just it locked up on him, and he couldn't go. So hopefully he's okay, ready to go. That's good news for the other guys like Za'Darius and the guys that we lost during the game.
Yes,
Nick Harris.
He brought up a couple points that reminded me of things. I address Stefanski haters a lot on this show. Today, I just want to address Browns haters. Guys like Adam Rank, who picked us to win 6 games this year in the preseason and then was on Twitter bitching about Njoku's touchdown, saying he was out of bounds. Learn the rules. If you're going to talk about professional football on TV, know the rules. It was 100% a touchdown. It's a toe tap.
They reviewed it.
Yeah, they reviewed it. Dumbass. This guy's just been getting shit on every win week. He hasn't been right until like 2 weeks ago. He finally got one of our games right. He had us winning 6 games. Nick Wright.
With a healthy roster.
Nick Wright, beginning the season, picked us to finish 4th in the division. He said with a straight face, we had the worst quarterback in the division. Did he forget about Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky, Mason Rudolph? Did he forget about these people? He said that with a straight face. Said we were going to have a lot of soul searching. Said we had the worst coach in the division.
Nope.
So Nick Wright. Cowherd, he's put us in his hierarchy a couple times. Also, a few weeks ago, said the Browns will go off the rails. I just want to tell all you guys, get fucked. We literally don't care about you in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Freddie Kitchens has no place as a coach here. He's got one of the best quotes of all time. If you don't wear brown and orange, you don't matter.
Yep.
Get shit on.
Yep.
Because we don't care about you. We don't care about your opinion here. We're just going to keep fighting and winning football games. And you can complain about it on Twitter with your dumbass haircut, Nick Wright. Warren Sharp on here Warren Sharp talking shit when we traded for Dustin Hopkins. This is what made me think of it. So they drafted a kicker with a 4th round pick and then cut him and then traded another pick for a kicker. You would have thought they would learn not to use draft picks on a kicker. Well, who's the best kicker in football this year, dumbass? Who's won us a bunch of football games? Who's second in the league in points? It's the kicker we traded a 7th round pick for.
Yep.
That we wouldn't be 9-5 without. Turns out you need a good kicker in the football, in the National Football League. Look how many teams are searching for a kicker and lose games because they don't have a kicker. We were that team since Phil Dawson left.
What do we say? The average margin of victory in the NFL is 3.5, something like that.
Yeah.
Go look at all of our games and look at the margin of victory for most of them.
Yep.
So Warren Sapp, go apply some mustache wax. Coward, just keep doing whatever it is you're doing, flip-flopping all the time. And Nick Wright, whatever.
Roll the dice.
Yep.
Roll the dice.
Feed the geese. Get
Cleveland
a
against the
haircut.
world, baby. Let's go.
Yes, because it's ridiculous. It's so embarrassing, some of the takes from the beginning of the season. And these people were making assumptions on our wins and losses, assuming we were going to have a healthy roster.
Right. Yep.
Shows how, like, it's all narrative.
Think if we had a healthy offensive line, Deshaun Watson and Nick Chubb. Where do you think this team would be right now?
Yes, even if we didn't have Deshaun, if we just still had 100% healthy Nick Chubb and all 5 starting linemen.
Yeah.
I'll even give you Jack Conklin. If we still had DeJuan Jones, the other 4 linemen, and Nick Chubb, where would we be? I think my dad said, imagine where this team would be if they were 100% healthy. I think we would be the favorites in the AFC. It'd be us or the Ravens. And we beat the Ravens with all our backups.
That's true.
They beat us when we had to start a rookie on 2 minutes notice. Then we went into their house and beat them with that backup.
You know what the nice thing is, though? Like, at the end of the day, with all these things that are happening and injuries, and we're still 9-5. We're still doing well. We're sitting at the 5 seed.
We have the second best record in the AFC, don't we? Or what are the Dolphins now?
No, we're tied. The Ravens have the most at 11?
Yeah, 11-3.
And then Dolphins are 10-4.
Dolphins have 10,
Okay,
and then we
they
have
got
9.
10.
The division is still out there. So I'm going to pose this question to the chat while we still got 5 minutes here. Would you rather win the division, but you play Baltimore in week 1? Would you rather get the 5 seed and play Jacksonville in week 1?
I want to be in Cleveland.
I'd rather win the division
I want to be in Cleveland.
I don't want to play every playoff game on the road.
The thing is, if we win the division, we probably get the bye.
Right.
No.
Well,
You don't think?
Depends on the record.
I'm saying.
Oh, you mean the first in the
Well, just because the Dolphins have they got to play Dallas and they got some tough matchups.
Yeah, but in order for us to win the division, that
They
means the Dolphins beat the Ravens.
Yes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So yeah, that most likely wouldn't be on the table.
I sent this in the group chat the other day, and I said, honestly, if this team, like, as Browns fans, we believe in this team, right?
Yep.
So if we want to go to the places that this team thinks that they can go to, and as Browns fans, we want them to go to, there's a good chance that we see Baltimore, and absolutely, let's go. I'd like to see them.
I think the smart money says you want to play the Jags, obviously. I don't think they're as good as Baltimore we saw last night. But a home game in Cleveland,
a home playoff
game in Cleveland, that atmosphere.
And our defense at home. That's the thing. Our defense at home.
Yep.
And I think if we can somehow pull out a win against the Texans and the Bengals lose, is there a chance for us to have a playoff spot clinched before the Bengals game?
Yes.
Is there? Okay. So if the division's not on the line, would you sit guys week 18?
Who? They're all backups.
Yeah, there's nobody.
I see what you're saying.
Would you
sit Miles?
Sit Miles? Would you sit
Amari, David? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because we had a week 5 bye.
It'd be nice to have another bye.
A lot of times I don't like to rest people because I don't want them to get rusty. But man, we could use a break probably.
I don't think this team is the type of team that a week off is going to hurt them. I mean, they came out after a week off and beat the 49ers.
This is true.
I think we'd be just fine. I would love to be in position to say, you know what? Let's take the studs that we still do have left, which aren't many, and rest them. Let's get some guys healthy. Maybe we get some younger guys, Bell and Hickman, some more of these guys that are playing at a high level, some more experience because we're going to need them in the playoff run.
It says, no, we can't clinch it this week.
Not this week.
But I think if we win this week and beat the Jets, we would be clinched.
I think so. I would imagine.
But
it'd be nice if we had that tiebreaker over the Broncos.
Do you guys want to talk about the Texans just for the last couple of minutes?
Yeah, we can do that. Sure.
So I know this looks like a tough game on paper. Obviously, every game's tough when you're rolling out only 84% of your salary. But we have a great defense. If they can travel just one time, please, this year,
that's
travel.
the thing.
The Jets just completely shut down this team, even when CJ Stroud played and he got the concussion that game. We can play at that level. We can shut them down. You know what I mean? Like, obviously it's going to be, every game's going to be a tough. I think the Jets game's going to be a tough game. We might have to win 1-0. You know what I mean? Just because of, we're going to have untimely turnovers. We're not going to be able to run the ball. But I think if our defense can just travel this 1 week, show up big on the road this one time when you got a chance to really put some distance between yourself and the other wildcard teams, our defense can shut this team down. All they had, they got Stroud and Noah Brown. Right? I don't know if Nico Collins is going to be
He was out this week, so
Schultz
he's
is
iffy.
questionable.
Tank Dell's gone.
Yep.
Like, we got, and if you play Case Keenum, I don't know if Stroud's going to be back. I would assume he is, but
I would assume
if it's Case Keenum, you can't lose that game.
No, and Will Anderson missed this last game, the rookie edge rusher. So, I mean, I don't know what his injury was. We'll have to look into all the text and stuff as the week goes on, and we do our preview show later in the week. But, we've proven that we can play banged up. We've proven we can win games with the bottom of the barrel of our depth chart.
Yep.
And the Texans.
I will say this. We have to, this would be a huge win, and it's not a make or break. Like, we can lose this game, and we still got a great chance to make the playoffs and everything. But there's a team out there, like, slowly kind of like making their way back and stalking.
Cincinnati?
No.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah, no kidding.
They figured out their offense.
Yes, and they are a very scary team. And then Cincinnati, Jake Browning's playing way better than anybody expected, especially after that first game he played against the Steelers, and they looked like crap. But I don't want to. Buffalo is like, they're coming, and I don't want to give them any window.
Yeah,
I would love to go on the road and steal this one. So, man, I just want the defense to travel just this once. Just travel for us one time here and help us out.
Yep, this is the time.
So hopefully we got to everything. It was hard to get in a word with John today, but
I did want to say, I saw somebody earlier say, like, how was vacation? I was off last week. Obviously, took the little one to Disney World, so that was a lot of fun. So that's why the preview show was late, and the reaction show after the Jags win we did real quick live on Sunday. But moving forward, I mean, we've got Texans coming up, and then we're going to do a quick turnaround after Christmas. Obviously, on Christmas Day, that'll be the day after the Texans game. We won't be in studio, but that Tuesday, we'll do the reaction. We'll do the Jets preview, because that game's Thursday night. It's going to be a crazy week after Christmas.
So we appreciate you guys being here, tuning in. Thank you for joining us on this crazy season. Having you guys, I look forward to Victory Monday episodes all day. When I'm at work, I'm just like, man, it's Victory Monday. I can't wait to get on, talk with everybody who's going to be in the chat. We appreciate you guys being here, supporting the show, always making the lives great. Over 100 of you guys in here watching, commenting right now. The chat never stops. We appreciate all the support. If I don't see you guys for the preview on Thursday, sometimes I make them, sometimes I don't. Hopefully you guys all have a great Christmas. And again, if you're looking for some Christmas presents, pick up a whatever it fucking takes t-shirt for your little one.
Send them to school with it. That's right. And it's kind of censored out a little bit.
Yeah, they'll get it.
And if you want to hang out with us throughout the week, you want to hang out with some of these Browns fans from all over, join the Dogs, become a Dog Pack member. We'd love to see you guys in the Discord. Again, thank you guys for being here. If you're in Northeast Ohio, stay safe tonight. We're supposed to get a ton of snow. We want to see everybody back here in the chat next week after a good, fun, safe holiday. Go Browns, 9-5. Screw the haters. Playoffs, here we come.
Cleveland against the world.
Yeah. Go Browns.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at The Dogs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedogspodcast.com.